Hiya, how you all doing today? I'm Cece, and welcome back if you're someone who was here about a month ago when I said I was going to start uploading longer videos on YouTube and then life just got in the way. But I'm back now to give YouTube another try. I'm aiming for at least one video a week because these videos are a lot longer and harder to edit. So at least once a week I'll upload something. I'm not really sure what I can do gameplay wise, but I've been making builds over on TikTok for quite a while now, so that's kind of where I'm comfortable, so I think I'll make a speed build like once a week or something. But let me know if you have any ideas. I did upload the odd little mini gameplay video, but let me know what you think and what you kind of want to see. But I should probably explain what we're building today. A few days ago I uploaded a base game only build on TikTok, but something about that build just didn't agree with me. I ended up not liking it in the end, so I wanted to give it another try, and EA just happened to release that update with all new swatches for things in base games, so it was perfect timing. So this is a base game only build for a family of 4, or 1 parent and 2 kids. I envisioned a family of 4, 2 adult Sims, 1 older Sim, young adult possibly, and a teen that are their kids, but it's 3-bed and it can be renovated to whatever suits. Now, base game can be tricky, so I usually say platforms when in doubt, just cover the place in platforms, build different layers, give some texture to the house. But I decided this time to mess around with terrain, because I'm not that confident with using terrain tools. So I thought I would use a lot of rocks, water features, and plants to just try and build the place up a bit so it doesn't feel as lacking since it's only base game. Now I know that usually a speed build has no cuts and it shows the entire process, but I figured landscaping can only keep you entertained for so long. Watching me place the same rock, just in different sizes, over and over, is not really going to keep your attention. So I will cut ahead and only show a few times of me doing landscaping instead of the entire process, because there is a lot of landscaping to do here. But just let me know if you want me to show it all instead in future. So for the first video I uploaded over here, I did a Love Struck in base game only build, and I did introduce myself a little bit and I talked about how I'm really passionate for Sims. It's something I've always loved since I was a kid. It was like one of the first games I really got into and just fixated on, but I didn't really introduce myself much. So like I said, I'm Cece, but also I'm Scottish, so sometimes I might say things that are a little hard to understand. It's hard to not use slang, it just comes naturally for me. So if there's words that I say a lot that you just didn't understand and can't work out what I'm saying, if ones come up frequently, I might put them in the description or something if they're ones I just can't stop myself saying, so that it's a little bit easier to understand. I've been making TikToks for quite a while, and I've been trying to make them as clear and just coherent as I possibly can, and not use too much slang so that it's easy to understand me, but that's harder doing a longer formatted video because I'm just too used to the way I normally speak. So if it does sound like I'm talking rubbish sometimes, just let me have it. Other than that, I'm not really sure what kind of things to say to introduce myself or what you would even be interested in knowing, but I've played The Sims for as long as I can remember. I was born the same year that The Sims came into existence, so it always just kind of felt like fate and was the game I was supposed to play. So I've loved Sims forever, and it was my dad that got me into playing The Sims. The first Sims I ever properly played was Sims 8 and 1, and Magic Town was my favourite place to be. I love The Sims, I love Sims 2, I love the original Sims, but I was a bit young for it to stick in my mind, like all the details, all the NPCs, everything about the townies. But Sims 3 lives rent-free in my mind. I love occult Sims gameplay. Sims 3 Late Night was like my favourite expansion, and I had to refilm this clip because I went to say that I loved Bridgeport, the world that shipped with Late Night, but I accidentally called it Bridgerton and just started laughing. So I had to refilm this clip. But anyways, my build style is usually more modern. I tend to keep to warm tones, wooden tones, creams, white, beige. But I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone and I'm trying to challenge myself to build more, which is why I'm trying to build these base game builds. I've never been great with a base game. I find it very limited and I struggle to make a fully fleshed out house to make it really feel lived in or somewhere that's actually complete. So I'm trying to challenge myself to build more base game builds, put more time into it, and try and get better at using just base game. But it's a learning curve. But I feel like some base game builds that I've put up on the gallery tend to get a lot of downloads, and I feel like it's something people seem to want to see more of. And also, it's just a bit more accessible for everybody. I know everybody's got the packs, so it just makes it so everyone can download it. They can add in things from other packs if they want, they can change things. Just makes it so everybody could use it if they wanted to, or if I'm building something and they like what they're seeing, it's something they can replicate or tweak because it's got things they'll be able to use. So my top challenge for myself for the next little while is to get better at building with limited packs or base game only. I tried using Google spin wheel to randomly select a pack, and then I would only let myself use that pack and base game. So I might do more of those kind of builds as well, where it's just one pack that I can use or just base game. I just want to challenge myself a bit more with building. But it would also be cool to build more things that you want to see. So I really want to hear what kind of things you like, what build styles, suburban, modern, what sort of style you want to see me building in, but also what sort of packs do you want me to just go all out, use all the packs? Do you want more builds that are limited, like what I was saying? I also have a lot of CC, so I can do some builds with tons of CC in them. Just let me know what kind of things you're thinking. One build I am thinking of doing is maybe a high school, and I know that like high school builds were a trend ages ago, no one's really building them anymore. But back when everyone was building them, I never really saw one like my high school. I don't know if just high schools are a little bit different structure in Scotland, but I never really saw one like mine. So I am considering building one, but that would be a giant build and take a long time to film. So I was considering doing it on live because it'll take so long to build. But I've never really went live, so I don't know how that'll do. So that might be something I'll do in the future. But I don't have the best quality mic. Though I am looking to get a new one really soon that'll be a lot better quality than this, because this mic picks and chooses when it picks up my voice. So I might be getting a new mic, and if I do, then I could maybe go live with it because hopefully it'll be better quality than this one. But let me know if you'd be up for a little chit chat, just going live and doing a long build together. Because I might be doing that soon, but we've finally got onto the interior, which took forever. It was hours of building to make the outside not just look like dirt hills. But finally we've got to the interior. I did decide to do a more modern feel. I kept the kitchen kind of modern. I wanted to keep that theme running throughout the house, but it was a bit tricky because base game does have a lot of modern items, but they're not in every single category. So I try to keep things modern, but certain areas are a little bit touch and go on whether they're modern or not. So if you see an area that looks like it's kind of going off theme, then just pretend you don't see it. So we're kind of limited for colour options that are consistent throughout base game. So I ended up choosing green because it's one of the easiest ones for base game. There is a lot of items that come in green. So I kept a kind of green theme running all throughout the downstairs. I wanted the living room to feel kind of cluttered, cozy, but I did struggle with it a bit. There's not many items in base game that you can kind of clutter a space up and make it feel lived in. So it was a bit difficult, but I tried my hardest to make the area feel like people are moving through it, like people are sitting here and this is a lived in area. The windows also just kept clipping over and over on this build, and I do not know why, so I had to keep selecting the windows and re-putting them on the walls, just because the wall kept going through where the glass pane was meant to be. I have no idea why it does that, but it happens to me all the time, but this build in particular, it kept happening. I decided over this back wall here to kind of put in a skill building area. So I put in a bookshelf, I put in a desk and the computer. I do eventually put an easel in by the corner because I kind of wanted a bit for activities, things to keep them occupied, get their fun up, but also to get some skills. I decided to keep the downstairs mainly open plan, which was a little bit overconfident on my part because there was not much furniture or things that I could put in here or really decor. But I ended up deciding that we needed a fireplace, we put some lamps in, get some seats down, just some things to fill the area. And then we're finally on to the more kind of social area of the downstairs where guests might come in. So I put in their dining table. I got them the bigger one. I did originally think a smaller, but then I thought we'll just go all out. So I got them the giant dining table, put in a bar, and then I ended up deciding to put in a chess table as well and just kind of finish up the downstairs. Oh, and for the decking around here, I wanted it to just be a kind of relaxing, chill area. Somewhere they can just come get a tan, swim a bit, just chill out. So, put in some loungers, I added the barbecue, put in a bar, and then I put in some skill building a little bit, some gardening stuff, a few plant pots down the side of the decking, and then a lot of plants for decor. Then I just had to chuck in some outdoor lights so they can actually see when they're out there. And finally ready to move upstairs and start doing that. I had to work out the floor plan. At this point, as I'm actually building it, I had no idea how many Sims lived here. So I randomly decided while I was doing this that this was a 3-bed, 3-bath, and I started just trying to work out the floor plan. I don't know how everyone else works out their floor plans, but I always start from the stairs. So I just box off my stairs so I can work out where my hallway needs to be. And then from there, I'll look for any kind of little bits of the house that jerk out slightly, little kind of nooks, little areas that I can kind of cut off. And I imagine them being bathrooms in my head. And then I box off all the bigger areas, turn them into rooms, and try and connect them to where the smaller areas are so that I can kind of give a few en suites if I can. But I always do it like that. That's how I plan out my floor plans, start from the stairs and work my way out. That way's always been easiest for me. And I tried to give every single bedroom a different colour scheme, a different feel, use a different bed in each one, different type of vibe, but the decor and things, the layouts are a little bit similar just because there's not much options. But I do try and give each room a little bit different colour scheme in hopes that that can bring out some personality. The bathrooms are all more or less the same as each other. I always put my hands up for anyone who can do a detailed base game bathroom. I just don't know how. I don't know how people can do it. There's not many bathroom clutter items, there's not much stuff you can use. So, hands up to anyone who can do a bathroom that's cluttered, detailed, and they all look different and don't just look like replicas of each other, base game only, because I cannot do it. Now it's just time for some finishing touches. A little bit of wallpaper, put in some things in the hallway just so it doesn't feel too empty. And off camera, I put a few things outside. They've got a little kind of balcony area, so I put some seats and a chess table out there. So just a couple finishing touches and then we're all done. So this is my attempt at a base game only house. I definitely think it's much better than the one I did on TikTok. I tried my hardest to go all in with the terrain tools and the rocks and everything, but I think I might have went a little bit too heavy on the rocks. But I definitely think it's much better than the first one that I tried to do. I'm quite chuffed with it, so let me know what you think. But that's everything for this video, so if you did like it, then let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you thought about the build. But if you made it all the way to the end, then thanks so much, and I hope you're having an amazing day. I'll see you next time.